Most of us can remember someone who made us feel welcome, but we can also remember someone who made us feel invisible.
Welcome to the Business and Pleasure of Flowers. We're your hosts, Vonda Lefevre
and Lori Wilson, and we believe that business and fun are a perfect combination. Kind of like us, Vonda.
Good evening, clickers. This is Vonda coming to you solo again, which doesn't happen too often. Lori and I were going to try to record a podcast with Ellie and many other people at AIFD Symposium, which I'm just wrapping up here in Orlando. And we didn't have time to do that. So I thought I'm going to jump on here and interesting enough, being very reflective. You've heard Lori and I and Ellie and Marlon and so many people talk about what's coming for AIFD Symposium this year. It was Elevate in Orlando, and we just closed it out. And there's still a few truckers picking up product tonight and to get it back for storage for again next year. And I'm sitting here reflecting the week. And I know Lori and I and probably Ellie will do some type of a recap, but that'll be later. So tonight, I wanted to just have a little conversation about what my thoughts were on Symposium. This is something really reflective, and I have to say, one of my favorite parts of a Symposium this year, interesting enough, didn't have to do a lot with flowers. I have so much to say about the main stage programs. The designers were incredible. The workshops, the lectures, so much inspiration and education. And if you didn't join us, you missed a lot. That's all I would say. The designers were incredible, the education inspiring. But what stays with me the most as I'm thinking here right now is the floral family. AIFD members and non-members attending, volunteering their time, not even their talent, a lot of them, just plain hard work. Randy Wooten, who was my co-chair for the symposium, which you heard from many times as well, when we were both asked separately what our favorite part of the symposium this year, what it was for both of us, which I thought was interesting too. And it was the first timers reception that we attended probably 3 days into Symposium, because there's so much going on before that. Unloading trucks, separating products, have the PFDE testing, the student competitions, all of this is going on. And then we had the first timers, and these are individuals who have never attended a symposium before. So that's why they're called first timers. And when we walked into the room, they were seated at little tables. You could tell that they were very apprehensive of what's going on. But when we watched what happened, it was just somewhat magical. Lori Lemick, who was a past president of AIFD, was coordinating things for this evening. And she had a bingo game. So the bingo game was kind of interesting. And you had to go around the room and ask questions that were on the bingo card, like, have you been in the industry 30 years or more? Or do you own your own flower shop? Or are you a wedding florist? All of these questions were being asked. Some were board members. Others were first-time attendees like themselves. It was just a really great conversation. You could see that they were coming alive. They felt more comfortable because, as you know, when you go to something like that, you're always wondering things like, ooh, what am I doing here? Do I belong? Is anybody going to talk to me? What if I ask a dumb question? What happens is a lot of times when someone comes to an event for the very first time, you can see that everyone knows everyone else. It's like this interaction that's going on. There's all the hugging and, hey, how you doing? And you're this little individual walking in by yourself and you're not quite so sure. So this wonderful meet and greet for first-time attendees was really important for the new people coming in, and we could see this happen. And what was really great is the seasoned AIFD members were sharing stories about their very first time at Symposium. How, oh my gosh, I came not knowing anyone and I left with at least one new bestie. And then the floral family continued to grow each time they came to Symposium. So it was just really great because that positivity cost nothing, but it means everything to that person. Those positive words of affirmation that you can give to that new person sitting there, or the smile, or share the little bit of story of yourself, your uncertainties that you had many years ago, so that they can connect. And then you would listen to where they're from, and then you would say, oh, I know a designer from that area. Why don't you meet this person? In allowing them to ask questions without feeling foolish, right? These moments seem really small to us, but when you listen to someone at the end of a symposium that tells you, oh my gosh, I made a new friend. Joe and Jessica, besties now. One was from Alaska, one was from, I can't even tell you where, but the two of them, I saw them walking around Symposium together. There were a couple other people that you could just see that had met just that very first day, and how much difference it made to have that connection for them to feel comfortable all the way. The other thing I will say AIFD does really well is when someone registers for Symposium and they pick up their badge, they put a sticker, I guess it's a ribbon. They put a ribbon at the bottom of the badge that's bright yellow, and it says first time attendee. We as a membership really do key in on anyone who has the ribbon that says first time attendee. And I observed this many times, people stopping him in the hall and say, hey, how's it going? Do you have any questions? That's what you want. You want that interaction. You want them to feel like, oh my gosh, I belong here. I belong here. It's all about belonging. It's all about feeling like you're in this big floral family, because you and I know that community makes a difference. Now, if Lori was here, should we go into this whole thing about community, because she is the queen of community. She is the queen of making everybody feel included. Most of us can remember someone who made us feel welcome, like that, stopping him in the hallway and say, hey, so glad you're here. Do you have any questions? You can remember those, but we can also remember someone who made us feel invisible. We don't want to be that person, right? We want to be the one who makes the smile, who makes that interaction, makes their day. And that sometimes starts a great mentorship. If you're starting to mentor someone, doesn't mean you have to meet them once a month or even once every 3 months. It just means you need to be there if they have questions. You need to reach out and encourage them. Just things like, hey, you've got this. What can I do? What kind of questions do you have? And just occasional reach outs. I will have to say that the AIFD membership committee does this really well. If somebody's interested in becoming an accredited member of AIFD, the membership committee has this mentorship program that they want to reach out and encourage those who are interested in the steps to membership to AIFD. It's a wonderful program, very encouraging, because what we want is to set you up for success to become an accredited member of AIFD. Elevate yourself, elevate your career. I know when I went to try for my accreditation, I did it for me. It was because I wanted to do it for me. But also, we deserve that level of professionalism. We deserve to be recognized for those letters behind our name. I am an accredited member of AIFD, accredited member of the American Institute of Floral Designers, which means I have a certain standard. When people see those letters behind my name, they know that the level of professionalism that I have in everything I do, it's high standards. And I would encourage all floral designers to aspire to be an AIFD member and do it for yourself. Do it for yourself. So when I think of the membership committee and all they do to encourage designers for their accreditation, I need to step back also and say, okay, Sometimes it takes 2 or 3 years for someone to want to achieve that, to feel like they have the knowledge and expertise to achieve that. But that doesn't mean you can't come to symposium and you can't be included in this floral industry. You can't be included in this community. The floral industry is an amazing community. And what we need to continue to do is create that ripple effect with kindness. Make sure that whether you're coming to Arkansas State Convention, Kentucky State, the Society of American Florists Convention, everything ahead of you, remember those words of kindness, because when someone feels welcome, they welcome others. When someone receives encouragement, they encourage others. It's that ripple effect, right? That's how our industry stays healthy. That's how our community grows. That's how organizations thrive. So next time you receive a compliment, look to the next person and think what you could maybe say to them. Not trade compliment for compliment. I mean, sometimes we all know that. It's like, oh, your hair looks nice. Oh, well, your hair looks nice too. Oh, that design's beautiful. Well, I love your design too. No, it's accept the compliment you received, but then look towards the next person, not that same person. Look to the next person and say, you know what? Gosh, I love your sweatshirt. I love the design you're creating. Look for the good in other people and pass that along, because sometimes we think something, right? We want to say something kind to people. We're like, no, I maybe shouldn't do that. Do it. Pass that compliment on. It truly is the ripple effect. If we're kind and pass it on, the next person is going to do the same. So again, here's my challenge for you. When you do attend Society of American Florists Convention or one of the other events that's coming up, look around. Find that one person who's just a little bit unsure. Stop. Share a kind word. Introduce them to yourselves. Introduce them to someone else. Ask them about their flower shop. Ask them, what is their involvement in the industry? Do they own a flower shop? Do they work at a wholesale house? Do they deliver flowers, or are they a designer? Get to know a little bit about them, because then they will feel comfortable having a conversation. We all want to talk about ourselves, it seems like, right? We're most comfortable of that. So you can break that ice a little, get them to talk, feel comfortable. We have to encourage younger people in our industry. That's how they're going to stay. We don't know how much that little conversation could mean to that person. The greatest thing we can arrange, not just flowers, is to arrange the confidence in another person. I'm just going to keep this short today, and I'm just going to close it out saying one of the biggest takeaways from AIFD Symposium isn't always found on the stage. It's found in the hallways, at the lunch table, after programs end, conversation where someone takes a first-time attendee under the wings, and I can see that happening. It happens in the flower room. It happens in the workshops afterwards. It happens at the table where everyone is making bouquets for someone else with blooms over. Over 2,000 bouquets were made and being distributed at hospitals and VA hospitals and numerous places around the city of Orlando. That's joy. I truly believe that our industry doesn't grow because of flowers. Flowers bring us together. People keep us here. Until next week, when Lori and I can be back together, and who knows what we'll be sharing with you then. Have a great week.
Thank you so much for listening to our podcast. We hope you enjoyed spending time with us, because we enjoy spending time with you. If you did, make sure you hit that subscribe button or add the business and pleasure of flowers to your Google morning routine or your flash briefing on Alexa. We look forward to seeing you next week.
So please come back and join us and discover how a bit of knowledge and one small change in your mindset can take you to new levels in your life and business.